Hello and welcome to another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son, Tim. Oh, we have another great show for you tonight. So, boys, let's get it started. I don't know, it's literally, and we've had such a nice run since 2001. We had a championship even last year, boys, but it feels like the clouds are coming in. It's not even the calm before the storm, and we'll start with Uncle Joe. It's not the calm before the storm of the nor'easter. The nor'easter's already here, Joe. The Boston sports scene right now is ugly.
It's in disarray.
It's
They're either falling or they're way at the bottom and trying to work their way back up.
okay, okay. Joseph, we'll just start with this before we pick a team. What team is closest to winning a championship? What's the team closest to winning a championship? The next championship.
Oh, it's so hard because I think the Celtics are past. The Bruins are 3 or 4 years away. The Red Sox and the Patriots are definitely 3 or 4 years away. Might be the Red Sox. Who knows? If these young kids come up next year, things gel. Could be could be them, but I don't foresee
Well, pick one.
actually
Pick one.
foresee.
Pick one.
Okay, I'll go with the Red Sox.
Okay, Timmy, same question.
Uh,
Of the four teams, which
you know,
one will
you know what
win
I'm
the
going to
next
say?
championship?
Who has Brad Stevens running one of the teams?
Okay,
Brad, I trust,
well,
man.
that's a great point. Yeah,
Brad is not. Brad has the freaking thinking hat on right now, right? He's got a ton of great assets, right? A ton of desirable players, all under contract. I have full faith in him that he's going to maneuver things, players, whatever, and he's not. Brad is not going to sit around and be content.
and let
Uh,
it go to shit. He's not
not when
going to let
not
that
when he has
happen.
all these assets under control.
I
You know
agree with
what I
you.
mean?
Look, when's the last time a team went back to back? It's been a long time. Okay,
Health, so many
Six,
factors.
6 years since Golden State did it.
so it's very difficult to do. So chances are going into the season, this wasn't going to happen. I would argue, guys, and that's the question: is uh, Joe, if the Celtics had stayed healthy, I would argue they probably wouldn't have won this year anyways.
They didn't. Their mojo was wrong. They didn't seem to have the desire,
Yeah,
to go for it.
yeah.
Especially at with Brown a little injured. Tatum, I think, had just had it. He is between the long season last year with going all the way to the championship and then the Olympics and then go right back into this season. It was like he was worn out and just didn't have it mentally.
And
Yeah.
last year, we got to remember those guys all peaked at the right time. They were all hitting on all eight cylinders.
Holiday was the same thing as Tatum, and he went to
Yeah.
the Olympics too, and he
Drew
just didn't
looked tired. He
have it
looked
all
tired.
year either.
You know what I mean? But last year, D. White was on fire. They were all on fire. Porzingis was on fire.
Timmy, what Joe makes a great point. Did you see that? You go to a lot of the games as a season ticket holder. Did you see? Was it different? Did it have a different feel than last year?
I don't think it's almost like they didn't have anything to prove anymore, kind of. You know,
Yeah.
um,
They were
I
still
think that
partying from
I think
the
that
parade.
desire was there, and then they got Porzingis, and it's like, guys, no excuse not to win right now. We have to go. Like a lot of times this year, you'd see them. You could literally see them. They'd be down by 8, and they would just put the gas down on the defense, and they would just stone cold stop teams. And I think they took it for granted maybe this year that they could do that at any time. But everyone's getting better, man. That NBA league,
Yeah.
I can give tickets that look like they're nothing, but then I look at the roster of this other team, and they all have two superstars on them. At least the minimum of one superstar on every team.
Yeah, but I thought, look, I thought we talked about it before the playoffs, the perfect pathway to the
Oh yeah.
NBA Finals, and to me, it really was Magic, Knicks, Pacers. So everything again, like it did last year, worked to their
Well, the
advantage.
Pacers scared me though, Scotty.
Right, but you knew you were going to have to face either them or
But the
Cavaliers.
Knicks weren't even.
No, and it shouldn't have been.
A million times. If you had said the Pacers might knock us out, I would have said I could believe that. If you had told me the Knicks were going to knock us out, I wouldn't have believed it. I mean, who the fuck would have thought that? No one.
No, they should have won in 5 games.
Oh,
I mean,
Oh yeah, but that Orlando beat them up, and they
did.
were running out of gas in the fourth quarter in those games. And then the Knicks beat them up, and they ran out of gas in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They were just physically overmatched. They didn't want to match that intensity.
now
Well,
much?
okay, so
how much-
does that mean we need to get tougher?
Or have a longer rest between seasons.
Or get younger?
Because D. White again, to reference that, with the Olympics thrown in there, they were overwhelmed. D. White didn't have for the first time didn't improve from year to
D.
year.
White, again, everything centers around the game 1 and game 2, and D. White did not play well enough. He usually comes through in the fourth quarter, and
Yep.
he was missing shots one after the other. And again, if D. White hits one 3-pointer in game 1, we win that game, and he hits another 3-pointer in game 2,
Right, too.
we win that game.
Porzingis was a shell of himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was terrible. He was a serious negative.
He was a
Yeah.
shell. Yeah.
And
He was not close to the same guy we saw last year.
how much blame does Missoula get?
For game 1, I blame Missoula entirely because with a 22-point lead, they're coming down and firing threes up within like the first 5 seconds, 6 seconds of the shot clock, right?
Call it
They had
time.
just gone down and let the shot clock expire every time, Scotty. I
Yeah.
think they win that game, right?
You
There
can't lose a
there
game.
wasn't enough time for the Knicks to catch up, right?
And they're not a big 3-point shooting team, the Knicks. So I mean,
They're going down 5 seconds into the shot clock, 4, 5, 6 seconds. They're firing up a three. New York's coming down, banging a three. 6 seconds later, the Knicks have the ball back. Go down, milk the clock, take it to the hole because we're getting cold at the threes. Go in, get fouled, whatever. Tatum. I mean, that was in one of the games against Miami. Remember, he was taking it till he hit 15 free throws in a row or something in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not working from outside, you have to adjust. And I think he didn't make the adjustment.
Well, yeah, Joe.
The team was a little too lazy to do it that way.
I know when you play my buddies one-on-one and you start getting gas, you just start taking the outside shot.
Exactly.
Okay, compare the collapse of the Bruins, Panthers up 3-1, have a lead in the game 7 with 1 minute left in game. Compare that collapse to the Celtics collapse this year. What's worse?
50-50.
You know what? They're 50-50. I would put them right with each other, Scotty.
Yeah.
Maybe the Bruins because they were so dominant. They had the goaltending. They had everything, man. They were loaded,
Yeah.
Most points in the history of the NHL.
But it reminded me of the 71 Bruins, Joe, when they lost to Montreal. I mean, I was more into it.
They were up three games to 1 against Montreal too.
That wasn't the first round. This was the first round against the team that
the second round, I believe. Yeah. But I was 10 years old. I mean, I was living, eating, breathing the Bruins and Bob Orr.
So we've had obviously a lot of success, but a lot of collapses, and this one.
Sports. That's sports. You know what I mean?
Generally teams. No, I mean, if you look at the playoff history of all sports, you don't 3-1, you're done. Teams don't come back from 3-1. Teams don't come back statistically from 20-point leads in the playoffs.
Are we going to go back to being the sorry losers from Boston again?
Ray Bork at the Government Center with the Stanley Cup.
Send us to Colorado to get a send Marshall.
And then he comes back here to show us what
we gave him a parade. We gave him a parade for winning the cup in
Oh
Colorado.
my! I think that was the dark. To me, that was the darkest moment.
That was long darkness, man.
That was. I mean, as
I
far as
remember I was at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. It's pretty much the first championship in the string of championships.
yes, it's 86. It was 80.
And that field goal went up by Vinatieri. And I saw the referee go like this, right? That was at the other end of the field. And I look up and it was like a movie. The clock was fuzzy and it kind of came into focus 0-0-0. And I couldn't celebrate. I'm searching the field for a flag
Yeah.
because we don't win, right? The ball goes through Buckner legs, too many men on the ice, roughing the passer. The list goes on and on and on. You know what I mean? Bucky Dent.
And we can't relive all of them. We can't. No, you can't do this to me.
I couldn't fathom
I know.
on the Super Bowl. I couldn't fathom it.
That changed everything. That changed.
It changed everything. And then we were off and running.
Okay, so Jaylen Brown, torn meniscus, explains. You got to give him his props for playing through that. That was very Bruin-like. Tatum obviously blows out his ACL. What is Brad gonna do? Is Brad going to blow it up?
You know, if I'm looking at the first thing I'm doing is looking what kind of talent is coming up. Who's going to be draftable in the next 2? Is there a LeBron in the pipeline? Is there a Giannis in the pipeline?
They're never going to be that bad with Tatum on
okay, no. But what I'm talking about with draft picks. You know, Scott, there's a lot of Tatums in the league.
Yeah, but teams, when they trade you draft picks now, they're all lottery protected for at least a couple of years.
Well, maybe if you throw a Brown out there or a Tatum or whoever, you know.
Well, they're not going to trade Tatum. Will they trade Brown this offseason, Joe?
I think you should worry more about a guy that is near and dear to our hearts, that is more tradable and would attract more, is D. White with a contract of only like $30 million.
Scott, that would break my heart.
Me too.
I love me some.
But that's the kind of move he's going to have to make to keep them competitive.
Well,
he has to blow it up. He has to get rid of.
I can't see Holiday.
Even Hauser will cost next year. Hauser will cost them $55 million.
No, Hauser's gone. Hauser's gone.
Instead of $9 million, it's $5.5 because they're a repeat offender now over the second apron. It'll be 5.5 times what the salary is over. So if you're a $10 million guy like Hauser, times 5.5, $55 million.
I saw something about Holiday going to Dallas.
Now, that's the big rumor.
For what though, Scotty? I didn't get to see that part of it.
I think it's probably going to be. You don't have any expectation that it's going to be a good player. It's a salary dump.
It's not going to be the number one pick. Forget about that.
No, it's going to be a salary dump.
But you know, I like.
But even that would they have to get something back in return, and they would still be in the penalty.
Yeah, like
don't they trade Jaylen Brown to Dallas?
Don't you have faith in Brad to make the right moves?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he knows what he has to do, and he's got a good idea on how to do it. It's if the other teams will cooperate with what he needs to do.
Would you trade Jaylen Brown and Holiday for Cooper Flag?
Yes.
Yes.
And that would solve all your financial issues too.
But then, no, why would Dallas do that? They wouldn't do that. That'd be stupid.
Because they have Kyrie and Jaylen Brown, and then Holiday.
And Anthony Edwards.
But you know,
Anthony Edwards.
But that's a team ready to fall apart if you look at it.
No, the Mavericks, Joe.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards. Daniels, I'm sorry.
The Mavericks already traded away the German there. There's no freaking way they have the fans in Dallas.
That would, trust me. Jaylen Brown's a big.
I know, Scotty, but the number one pick, they're calling Flag a generational player. You know.
Yeah, and Jaylen Brown, great as he is, he's a third team All NBA guy.
He's
Is
like
the only thing
he's
he's
like
ever made.
the third most highest paid guy in the league or something like that, right? In that
Well,
ball.
All I knew,
he got the bird rights max at just the right time.
look at
Same
this
as
Mavericks
Tatum.
general manager, what Nico Harrison. He's the moron of all time. If
Yeah.
Brad can take him,
Yeah, I
all
still
right,
think the
I'll go
league.
with
I
Sam
still
Howard.
think the league is in cahoots there
If,
I'll
somehow.
go
if
with
I'm
Sam
if, I,
Howard.
if I'm Dallas and they trade fucking Cooper Flag, like I'm burning the arena down.
Yeah,
Well, no, wait. First of all, you're giving him Jaylen Brown is a top player. It's not like you.
yeah, but Cooper
Not
Flag
yet.
will be just as good, if not better, and play a much more premium position.
And he's not Giannis.
A
Jalen
center
Brown
beats a
not
small
Giannis.
forward any day of the week.
Cooper
No,
Flag's
he's
not a
not
center.
LeBron in his prime. He's a third.
Queen
fourth
takes the
team.
pawn.
No,
No, he's not a center.
Okay, let's name. We can name 10
Power
players,
forward center.
10
Whatever.
players ahead of Jaylen Brown. Probably in 30 seconds here, we could name 10 players with more prestige in the league than him right now.
Oh yeah, lots more. But it's just one of those. There's no way they would do that. That's given up their future. They already gave up a 25-year-old superstar. Now they're going to give up a 19-year-old superstar.
Would you, Scotty? Would you?
Yeah, I mean, I would drive him there.
No, would you, if you own Dallas, would you do that?
Look, again, Dallas is in a position where they probably have to, because they have the Kyrie window is closing, and so they may.
The Kyrie window. I don't think there is a Kyrie window. He can't play defense.
No, there is a Kyrie window.
The Celtics exposed Kyrie last year. They exposed. He can't play defense, Scotty. He can't. You know what?
Oh, he can, Tim. He can play defense very well but at the expense of his offense.
I remember when he was on the Celtics, he got abused defensively.
Jaylen Brown and White.
Huh?
Jaylen Brown and D White for Cooper Flag.
Okay, let's do it the old Ben Franklin. Put the why and why not on each side.
First of all,
number one, why not? Money. Right?
Yeah, they'd only have to pay Cooper Flag like $6 million. They would have to pay Jaylen Brown and G White $80 million.
Then you have you'd have your,
$8 million versus $80 million.
Remember, look, Dallas is not going to win a championship with Kyrie and Cooper Flag next year. Would you agree?
Scotty, I think you're giving Kyrie way too much credit.
Well, no, he's a big part of that team. What are you talking about?
He's a big. I mean, as quick as I can name all the players better than
Tim does not like
I
that.
can name twice as many better.
Oh, I know.
Than
I forgot what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We just said how quick we could name players better than
Kyrie is the Antichrist. And Tim
he hates Kyrie, and we've been doing this show a long time. Kyrie's number one, right, Timmy? Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't even know if number two is.
Tim had a fire extinguisher at the ready when he was burning his
I don't hate a lot of people. Let's go with Keith Magnuson. Might be two. From back in
I hate
Red. Oh my God, that's
O'Reilly using him as a punching bag. I don't want to digress too much. I remember Keith Magnuson went out and took karate all summer. So he, because Terry O'Reilly was using him as a human speed bag the whole year before. So Keith Magnuson goes out, and that's all the announcers talking about, how Keith Magnuson took karate lessons all summer. Everyone better watch out for this. 5 minutes into the game, him and O'Reilly dropped the gloves. O'Reilly
bloody
beat the snot out of him again. I guess those karate lessons.
Yeah, right, exactly. Karate.
No, but Kyrie, though. I think you're giving Kyrie weight. Scotty, there's so many better players than Kyrie in this league.
No, I know, but all right. We're moving on then. Okay, because he can go on forever about Kyrie. I know.
No, it's not just that. He's not that good.
I know. Okay, I'm just trying to look. I want Cooper Flag.
Remember what we did to him when he was at New Jersey, and then we did it again to him at Dallas.
No, he's an asshole. I agree with you.
He was a non-factor. They shut him down. And they abused him defensively.
All right. Out of KP and Holiday, who gets traded?
Well, I think Porzingis is gone. And I don't know if you're going to get a bag of pucks for him the way he played this year.
You know, we didn't have to pay anything for him,
And
because he's so unreliable.
his injury history and everything. I hate to say it because I loved him, but is this what KP is now? What we're seeing? What was
Well, the
it?
guy looks like he has some kind of. I worry about the poor man's health in his future life.
Will he be dead at 35? Jeez.
I mean, look, that guy's a freak. They call him the unicorn. What he's 7'2", 7'3".
Yeah.
And those guys can, I mean, obviously more susceptible to physical issues, and it looks like he has some kind of unknown virus. I mean, that just
When's the last time you saw an 11-year-old Great Dane?
yeah, well, that's it. That's what it feels like, right? I mean, again, we're kind of spoiled by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that he's still alive at 79, and Russell lived
Bill
a long
Walton
life.
had all those injuries, right? I mean,
Well, Chamberlain did not live a long life. So these guys at these heights, it's very. Oh, a guy like Heinsohn lived a long time, and Heinsohn was what, 6'9", right? 6'8", 6'9".
6'10", I believe.
Yeah.
And
So
he
yeah.
was big, and Heinsohn was a big
I'm
guy.
not just
Oh,
talking about
huge.
things like health, live or die. I'm just talking about what is he as a player now? Is he the guy we saw the last 3 or 4 months, or is he going to be? Next year, does he has the potential to be what he was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Jim, he's been on 4 different teams for a reason because of this unreliability. It's not like it was just this year and last year, but it was the year before, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that.
Yeah.
It's been a constant.
We happened to catch a nice, healthy point in the
Well,
championship.
not really. To me, I mean,
He didn't play
most
in
of the
the
playoffs.
In the championship series, we had him healthy, right?
One game.
Yeah, one game, and he played out of his mind.
Yeah. I mean, I know. Yeah. I think he goes too. I think actually both of them go.
Drew or Jalen?
Both. Drew and KP both go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that
Now, could KP help a team like Dallas?
well, he was on Dallas. But
Yeah. They traded him away.
but again, he has 1 year left in his deal, right?
Yeah, if you're looking to add pieces,
He's an expiring contract.
you kind of save him for the playoffs, and you hope he's healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah. So we'll see.
We tried that and it didn't work.
Yeah.
All right, boys, we got
It gives
to.
value to somebody. I think Drew. It's like the leadership and just the.
Well, that's why he's attracting interest around the league. A lot of teams that are close, but no cigar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They want him. I can actually see him going to like an Orlando Magic.
Yeah, just like Chris Paul going to San Antonio last year. Bring in the established veteran with a great pedigree.
Hey, this is
have
how
him help the culture change.
this is how I take care of my body. This is the diet I eat. These are the routines that I've established. You know what I mean? That goes a long way to getting longevity out of your young guys if they get the right mentor early and that shows them the way.
And Drew really, he was a non-factor this year.
Drew.
Yeah,
he looked.
Oh, yeah.
He looked
I think all 3 guys that went to the Olympics had poor years.
No, Tatum was fantastic, Joe.
Yeah, the first third of the season, and then he just kind of, he was there.
Oh, Joe, Tatum had it.
And then this in the playoffs, he'd had enough.
No,
right,
definitely.
Absolutely not trading.
Well, we're not trading Tatum. We're not trading PP.
Wait, if they said Giannis for Tatum.
No, they're not doing that. Tatum's the cornerstone of the franchise. I'm not a big fan of Giannis. Giannis is on the back end. Seriously, I don't want any part of Giannis.
His game is so physical that he's not going to last as long as you're thinking.
Yeah, I don't want any part of him.
The league's going towards the 3-pointers too.
Yeah, he's too old. You gotta.
Well, if you look at now, the 4 teams in there, the 3 teams left. None of them are 3-pointer teams.
Maybe the trend is changing, Joe.
Yeah, the Celtics set the tone last year, and now it's a little different. The
Yeah, well, they got a
Pacers
big
are
guy.
definitely a 2-point team. OKC's a 2-point team. They'll shoot the three, but that's
Is
just.
anybody going to watch OKC against Indiana?
I think that's a fascinating matchup. It's a puncher versus a boxer.
What's the next series at right now?
3-1.
3-1.
So they play tonight?
I think so.
I might watch that.
OKC wrapped it up last night.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Let me see if they're playing tonight. I think they must be playing tonight, right?
Yeah.
They are playing tonight, 8 o'clock.
TNT.
Yeah, there you go. A few minutes.
Just to watch the Knicks fans.
What's the spread on that?
I hope it's in New York so that I can watch them all.
It is New York, yeah.
It is in New
Oh,
York.
I can watch
So
them
New
all.
York will be favored.
They are by 4.5.
For the New York money too, anyways. People are
I'll
gonna
tell
bet the
you,
Knicks.
I can't get DraftKings to take a deposit from me. I don't know, something screwed up with my bank or something.
Is that right?
I would have won some money on that first game where the Knicks were favored. I was trying to put some
Scotty
money
and
on
I
that.
both took the Pacers in that
Did
game.
you?
Yeah, we took
I had the Knicks. I had the Pacers all day on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you said you took the Knicks. Sorry.
I
I thought that was the easiest bet of the year right there.
my betting's improved dramatically lately with the
Yeah.
Kentucky Derby and all this.
Pete, man, I can't believe you guys didn't call me with the next race.
Journalism.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't pay much. Almost 2-1. Almost 2-1.
I thought because I posted, but Timmy, you didn't listen to me for the first one. I posted sovereignty. I said, Pete,
on our thread.
Yeah, for Kentucky Derby, I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got. Yeah. Well, that was the first race, right?
But you didn't bet it.
Oh, I bet the first race.
You bet the course I gave you.
I bet. What was the name of that?
Sovereignty.
Yeah. It was Scotty. I won $1,000.
You did not.
I did.
Oh, I didn't.
I won $1,200.
Because you said you bet $100, right?
I bet $100. I won $1,200.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
No. Did he tell us that, Joe?
No.
I couldn't. Let me look through the thread here.
No, because you said you bet 100 on another horse.
I bet 100 on the winner.
No, you said.
Oh, remember I wrote back, thank Pete for me. Okay, when was that? What's the date on that?
First Saturday in May.
We only have 8,000 texts.
It was like May 2nd or 3rd, wasn't
Joe,
it?
did he say he bet another horse instead?
No.
I don't think. I think.
No. Remember I said thank Pete for me.
I think we all bet sovereignty.
Yeah, I definitely bet.
I had to open an account on DraftKings because you got to have a different kind of
I
account.
had the horse bet. I had to call my buddy who put the bet in.
All right, so I hooked you up on that. Good.
You hooked me up big time, Scott. That's why I was upset I didn't get a tip on the next one.
No, I did. I said, well, first of all, because he was even money. So I actually, Joe did it straight up and won what, like $20?
Yeah, nothing much. It was almost 2-1. It finally.
So I bet journalism, and then I boxed it with I had him but I had it with two other horses, and so I lost that day. I lost that bet. But
yeah, he didn't want to bet because it was 6-5 was the opening odds on
May 2nd, right?
Timmy, I gave you guys journalism. I texted you that.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, remember I texted you, Joe?
Yep. He said Pete likes journalism, but it's he's the favorite.
On our Grandstanders text?
Yeah, I gave you.
I think so.
Yeah, I gave.
But he was like even money. But so I threw it. I still had the account, so I put another $20 on it.
He's 2 for 2. Remember how bad he was during Saratoga when I was, and you're like, why are you letting Pete?
So who does he like in the Belmont? Because aren't the two going head to head in the Belmont?
Yeah, I think so, right? Yeah. I bet you he goes with.
I'm at May 2nd. I don't see anything here.
Well, that's when I gave you sovereignty, whatever it is.
He'll probably go with journalism, right?
What was the date of that first?
No, I bet he goes with the other one.
Our horse, Sovereignty. I put $100 on Sovereignty. I wrote.
Oh, you did see? I didn't see.
And then I write. Yeah, I wrote back. I put $100.
Oh, yeah, I remember that post. I thought it was Scotty that.
It was higher than 701 too. Well, I paid $179 on $20. So So I won.
It ended up being like 9-1,
5.
right? It was 9. I won 180 for
On what, 20 bucks?
Yeah,
Yeah, so times 5. So I won like 800 bucks, 900
yeah,
bucks.
yeah. All right, well, good. I'm glad you did that. I don't know why maybe I don't know why I thought you said you were betting on someone else, and I was like, okay.
Oh,
And then I had to force Joe to do it. I'm like, Joe, now that I
Well, I
gave
didn't have an account to bet. You got to have a new account. You got to
sports
put
book.
new
there it is right
deposits.
here. Tell Pete I said thanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Horses are different from all the other sports for some reason.
All right.
You have to have a horse account.
All
Yeah.
right. So now
No, because
I,
probably
I want to see
I'm
this
sure it
text
goes.
from Scotty to the group saying, so was that Saturday? Was it last Saturday?
No, 2 Saturdays ago, right?
2 Saturdays ago.
I
Boy, we have a lot of text, boys. I'm like doing the swipe here, going through. I'm not even,
all right, we're on a show. I forgot
I forgot we're doing a show
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
we're doing a
We're
show.
talking afterwards.
Well, I'm glad you won.
We'll move along to what'll it be? The Patriots are more fun.
No, we have to talk about the
Red
Red Sox. As longtime season ticket holders, I hate to tell you guys, and first of all, I called it last week on the show. I told you that the season
Over.
was over, and because I'm pretty familiar with the team, the season's over, guys. They're done.
And bringing up the young guys isn't going to save the season because they brought up 2 so far and they've added nothing.
No,
There's
Bear's been.
well, I'm not saying they've been bad. I'm saying they haven't changed.
No,
Vibe
they're
around the
not
team.
those type of players initially, of
Yeah.
course. No.
Well, sometimes you see a young guy come up and it invigorates the team,
Yeah.
and suddenly start playing. It's not happening in this case.
This team
You
is
can
dead.
bring up Roman Anthony next week, and I think you'll get the same result. You just got to get rid of the guys like the Deadwood, like Story, and let these kids really.
Oh, I think, yeah, Joe, you're so right. Story, Joe is dragging this team down.
You got a shortstop on the team right now that is better offensively and way
Oh, my
better
God.
defensively in Rafaela.
Oh.
He's better in every way than Story. There is no way Story is better in any way, shape, or manner. Rafaela is a better base runner than him. Everything,
Yeah.
and you can't, sure it's going to be a lessening of the defense in center field, putting Duran there and Roman Anthony over and left. But I think you gain so much by getting that dead weight out of the lineup. He's just a rally killer. That's the problem with that Red Sox offense. No consistency, no rallies. And you can't have a rally when every time Story comes up and there's men on first and third, he strikes out.
He does every time, Joe. Huh? He just whiffs. No walks. Is the guy? When's the last time the guy took a walk?
Yeah, and he doesn't. Even take a productive out by moving the runner over or something. He doesn't even do that. He just Ks.
Joe, how does a guy like that go from being borderline all-star at one point, right?
He's been
When he was in the
ever
other
since
league.
he got to the Red Sox. He's been terrible.
He's been terrible. You know what his batting averages since he's been with the Red Sox, all 3 years he's been here, right? 228. That's his cumulative average. 228.
He's been terrible. He's a
And
terrible player.
And he's no great shakes in the field.
No. Hey, by the way, how long has Bregman been out for?
Oh, it looks like probably
Maybe 10, 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He won't be back until August.
So Man's playing third, right?
Yeah. Story has to be cut. This is crazy. They're not getting the money back. They're not, and nobody's trading.
But that's $140 million they own.
No,
140.
what are you talking about? They owe Story 70. What are you
Oh, that's right. That was the original contract.
Yeah, no, yeah. So 70. They have to eat it, Joe.
But see, you can't piss away $70 million. No business can do that.
God, how does a guy like this just lose it?
Well, what are they going to do with him?
Yeah.
No,
How do you just lose it like that? I mean, the guy was an above-average player in the big league.
He won 2 Silver Sluggers, Tim, over in the National League.
So why don't you just DL him? DL him and then put him in a rehab and put him in Worcester for a month and see if he can get his shit together.
You think he could get his shit together?
I, no, but I mean, if you don't want to cut him, which you should do,
Started the year pretty hot, right? I mean, he was hitting like 330 there for a while.
yeah, that was
For a
phony.
week.
It was phony. It was, the guy has not had an extra base hit except hitting a double off a positional player.
How many walks does he have? Does he have a walk?
No, he strikes out pretty much every time with
Yeah,
punch.
I know. Why wouldn't he just get up there and watch balls go by if he knows he can't hit
He's
them?
killed the team. I would say that he has cost the Red Sox between 3 to 5 games. Would you agree?
But he's got a negative WAR for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the eye test. Comes up in situations.
Oh yeah, he kills rallies. That's why the offense isn't consistent. I mean, take a walk, make a productive out, move the runners over. You got to keep the rally going, and he doesn't. He kills it with the strikeout every time.
Yeah.
Base on balls. 1, 2. This guy. So he had one walk in game 3. He had one walk in game 8. Then he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then he goes.
It's embarrassing.
Wait, then he goes 6 games without a walk. Then he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then he goes 6 more games without a walk. Now he's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more games without a walk.
Yeah, no, I mean he's one of the worst players I've ever seen the Red Sox have, positional players.
The pitches just groove the first 2 pitches. They know he can't hit, and so they just get him in that 0-2 count, and then he's waving at anything. Then they throw it about a foot above his eyes, and he still waves at it.
They set him up. He's so easy to set up, huh?
So is Alex Cora, is his job safe?
That extension, but hey, what's Cora making? 10 million a year, maybe?
I think 7. I think it's a 3-year, $21 million deal.
A lot easier to dump that salary than to dump Story.
Yeah, because it doesn't go against the cap; it's just money.
And 21 million is a lot less than 7.
So given all the aspects of this team, right? Should they be doing better, or are we what we are?
Oh, it's a great question. Joe, answer that
I think they should be doing better. The injuries at first and third have kind of exposed the lack of depth on the team. But
Cassis was shit in the bed. Cassis was shit in the bed anyway.
Yeah,
I thought that was almost addition by subtraction, getting him out of there.
Well, but they haven't replaced him with anything except like Nick Sogard and Abraham.
Are they doing any worse than he was doing though?
Yes. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
And
they gotta be better. They gotta be better defensively though.
No, unfortunately, their inexperience shows when they're over there.
Nope, not getting anything. This is a poorly constructed team as far as depth goes.
It's funny. You can go watch the ACC play, or the SEC, and you won't see a first baseman on any of those college teams making as many errors as Cassis would be.
No. Look, the best story of coming out of the season is the Navarez acquisition and how he's developed as catcher. Yeah. Otherwise, can you think of one good story?
Well, Crochet's been great.
Well, yeah, but you expected that.
No run.
No, but you expected Crochet, if he stayed healthy, was going to be a good pitcher. I'm talking about a surprise factor. Other than this nobody catcher becoming a legitimate.
Oh yeah, he just came out of nowhere. He was expected to be a defensive replacement and probably hit about 180.
If they bring Anthony up, it makes any difference?
I mean, just as far as interest for fans, of course, to watch a guy develop, but otherwise,
won't make the team better.
No, it's not. I mean, again, he's a good. He'll be a good player to watch and stuff, but it's not going to. Right, like you said, it's not going to translate into a lot of victories.
Also, our center fielder is not playing anywhere close to what he's capable of. Right?
Well, I think Rafaela is a guy that it probably has to go.
Who's the other kid?
Duran.
Yeah.
But Duran's playing.
I think Duran is the guy you would trade.
But Duran is, I mean, he's such a unique player, and a kid, he's a gamer.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Durant's not the guy to go. I mean, he's a high talent guy. He's a high ceiling guy, and we've already seen the ceiling. Raphael is a guy to go.
He's too valuable. You put him at shortstop. He's a better offensive player than Story and a way better defensive player.
Why wouldn't you put
He's
Merritt
head and
short?
shoulders above him at
Why wouldn't you
shortstop.
put Merritt short?
He's doing fine at third. Leave
No,
him
but
there.
he's a shortstop, though, right? He was brought up as a
He's a
shortstop.
second baseman, doing a first baseman and
Well,
an
you
outfielder.
drafted him to be your future shortstop,
Yeah,
right?
He is your
yeah,
future.
but
He's your shortstop
every guy
next year.
they draft is a shortstop, Tim. On every
Oh,
high school team, the
Mayor's
best.
not. Well, Mayor's a shortstop, Joe.
Mikey was a shortstop all the
He's
way.
gonna be. Mayor's gonna be the starting shortstop opening day next year. I mean, that's
Next year, yes.
Mayor's never going back down again. Mayor's plays
Yeah,
for the
he's
Boston
here
Red
for
Sox.
good.
He's here for good.
How about Campbell? Do you think they could send him back down?
I had texted that. I think Campbell needs to be sent down.
He started so hot.
Yeah, I think they're still happy they
Joe,
signed to that deal.
I think
But
you brought it up a while ago, though. Sorry to interrupt this, Scotty. You said they'd figure Campbell out, and that hot streak would end.
Well,
Yeah.
and now it's up to Campbell to would make the adjustment back. They adjusted to him, and now he's got to adjust back. That shows you're a major leaguer when you make the adjustment back to them. But he hasn't yet. Right now, he's starting to look like Jackie Bradley Jr.
They scout the shit out of these guys, right? They find the weakness and they go after it.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
scouting reports. And they'll just keep on pounding. He just needs to go back to Worcester for a couple weeks and get confidence and get his swing back, and he's fine. He's going to be a great player.
He's been getting the barrel on the ball, but he's just drilling it into the ground lately.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is already feels like a long
So
season.
the infield next year is
It's going to be
Bregman
Bregman,
at
hopefully
third,
Bregman at third,
Myron
Bregman
at short, Campbell at
Campbell
second.
and then Cases will be back at first, unless they acquire somebody.
That's the infield we've been waiting for 4
Yeah.
years now, right?
Whether Cases, I guess I assumed that he'd be back. I guess that injury wasn't as bad as they had thought.
You know, when I was
Never
thinking
know
the other,
cases, though, right?
Exactly. Yep.
you know what I was thinking the other day? How about giving Rob Refsnyder a first baseman's mitt?
Oh yeah, I mean,
He's a smart player. He's a smart guy. Everyone says he's a coach on the field and all that. He should be able to pick it up quicker than anyone.
I love Rev.
And then you get to keep his. He's got the second highest OPS on the team next to Devers.
Well, he's not going anywhere. Nobody's
Of
done
course,
that.
he plays against lefties, but yeah, I I mean, that would give you at least a veteran presence out
So
there.
how old is he?
33.
30 something.
Okay, so he's long in the tooth.
I mean, this is.
Oh yeah,
this
he's
is
not a
just,
young guy.
I mean, this is just plugging up the Titanic at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
But why wasn't that considered right off the bat and going with like Sogard and Toro?
Look, they didn't have a plan. I mean, there's no plan for any of this stuff. I mean, they had to think.
Refsnyder doesn't play enough as it is. He only plays against lefties for the most part.
He's
right?
been fantastic. They need to extend him. I'm Mr. Extension, but geez, in this case, I mean, come on.
They got him 1 year at a time. They got him by the balls.
Yeah, well, I think he's been fantastic. I mean, what a pickup. I think they got him from the Yankees, did they?
He played for the Yankees. I know. I think he came. I think he got DFA'd by them.
Yeah, the Yankees have been very good supplying us stuff.
Did you see the Mets are over? Remember we saw that Torrin, the catcher for the Mets,
Yeah,
they got for just cash consideration
I
from
know.
the Yankees the year before. He's hitting 280.
the Yankees, Timmy, basically gave all these teams, Mets, Red Sox, and I don't know other teams, all their catching prospects, and they've been fantastic and gave them away for nothing.
Because they had so many catching prospects, and the ones that they brought up stink.
They gave, look, our guy Navarez is borderline an all-star.
That's
Right?
good.
It's unbelievable. He was given up. We had to give them $300,000 into not just the ability to spend $300,000. We didn't give them anything. They just handed us a potential all-star catcher for nothing. Pretty right, Joe?
Catches a good catcher is just like gold.
And we didn't have any.
He's in first place, though.
We
Oh,
didn't have any, yeah, but the Yankees did. But
15 games over 500.
all right, we got to go to the Patriots, and oh my God, just to
What is this pink
know.
substance? What is a pink substance? That's what I want to know.
it's a lighter. It's just a big lighter. It's a pink
Oh,
big lighter
is
in
that
the
what he has?
bag.
Is that what he has in his hand?
Yeah, the bag has it's a marijuana company, Kush something, Kush
What are they
World.
giving him
Can you
shit
smoke
about?
marijuana in the
What
NFL?
are they giving him shit about having weed? I mean, freaking.
Yeah, but no one knew what it was. When you look at that picture, you just said it. What's that pink stuff?
I haven't even looked at it. I'm gonna look at
But
it.
if you get an enhanced picture zoomed in, it's just a pink big lighter, and I've got the name somewhere here. Oh, Kush Factory is the name of the
Kush.
company that
Here's the
um,
picture. I'm looking at it
Yo,
now.
why you gonna
and it's
order? You gonna order one?
a pink big lighter. I can
Yeah.
get them at the corner store anytime.
Hands
What
out
are they, 99
mysterious pink
cents?
substance to gaggle of woman.
It's a pink big lighter when you look when you zoom in on that at the bottom of the bag, and it's a rolling tray of
Okay,
Kush Factory.
he's
So it
in
was
just a
just
matter of
weed.
time.
So,
Stefan's
so he's
going
just
away.
smoking some weed, right? I mean,
No, but
so
then
Yeah.
he's hanging out, supposed to be at OTAs. Instead, it's a party boat. He's got party girls. He's a party guy. Um, it,
also he was supposed to be.
No, it's voluntary.
well, they're all supposed to
Yeah.
be there, Joe. Come on, Diggs is supposed to be there. Come on. I mean, that's
Yeah,
his job.
even if he can't play where he's rehabbing,
Yeah, it's supposed
he
to
could
come
stay.
on.
You stand on the sidelines and clap for your teams,
We
but
have
it
enough.
is voluntary. It isn't. The next question is the mandatory OTAs are coming up. Will he be there for them?
Look, how much slack is Vrabel going to give a guy who's never played for him in Diggs? Or will he cut him immediately?
No, not a chance. Bob Kraft to put a kibosh on that. He just gave him like what? How many million? $15 million.
Is that what he gave him guaranteed?
Yes, you're not cutting him. He'll cut Poke. Poke's only 4.5 million.
Polk's gone.
I'm
Polk
sorry.
and
I was
Baker.
looking. I was
Baker.
looking at
Do
the.
you
I
see
was
what
looking at,
he made Baker? He made Baker. He grabbed Baker. Baker celebrated after making a catch, and all the other guys were waiting for him in the huddle while he's celebrating. Rabel went out in the field and grabbed him and made him run. And for the rest of the day, he was running back, but he's gone.
We knew that when that was
The one that intrigues me is that Butte, who did so well last year, he caught a lot of passes on, and he wasn't a slot receiver. He was catching them on the outside.
No, I think Butte probably he stays. I mean, yeah, because or you trade him. I mean, he's
You know,
got
we haven't had an outside receiver catch that many. Got to be 10, 15 years.
no. I think.
Got to go back to Moss catching that many.
But wouldn't you agree?
Outside.
Polk and Baker are gone. Both of you guys.
I think so. He's going to rather than dump Diggs, he'll dump Polk.
oh, Scotty, I missed the beginning of this. I was looking at the pink lighter in the picture. That is a pink lighter, Joe.
Yeah.
Diggs isn't going anywhere, Scotty.
Well, I mean, obviously, all right, but
Who needs the Patriots need Diggs more than Diggs needs the Patriots.
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't say that.
And he
Oh.
wasn't scheduled to even participate in training camp.
Somebody will
No,
take him.
that's-
Somebody will take him.
Okay, no, it's a bad look. All right, I'll
He's
give it to
scooped
you.
up in a heartbeat if he hit the market.
Oh yeah, especially where the Patriots have already paid him for the year.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Polk and Baker are gone. Give me the 6 wide. I think they keep 6 wide.
No, I bet you they only keep 5 because they'll. Josh McDaniels, remember Josh McDaniels? He'll keep an extra tight end and an extra running back rather than the
All right,
6.
so we know Williams is going to be there. We know Diggs is going to be there. We know Douglas is going to be there. Who are the other 2 then?
I say Butte, and let's see who can win. I'm not so sure on Douglas either.
Hollins? They just signed him too.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
So it's up. And he's just a slot receiver. So
No,
he
Douglas is gonna stay. He's gonna stay. I mean, he's
well, Hollins might take Douglas's spot.
but he's small, short money. They're gonna keep him.
Yeah, he is short money. Was he undrafted?
No, I think he's
Who's this Efton Chisholm the third?
yeah, this
But
is
that's an
free
undrafted
agent,
free
yeah.
agent. They gave him a lot of money though.
They have him third on the draft on the Jeremiah Webb.
Yeah, no, I think he makes the
There's
team.
been a lot of buzz about him, but he's a little small, so he's a slot receiver. But he comes from the same school as Cooper Cup,
Yeah, no,
except
he
that
probably
he's
makes the team.
5'11". Cooper Cup was 6'3",
He makes the team as a special teamer too, probably.
Exactly. I was going to say instead of six carrying six wideouts, they'll carry five and have two on the practice squad.
Well, he may not make the practice squad. A guy like that, if he's that good.
An undrafted free agent,
Okay, hey,
someone
question,
would have drafted him if they thought
Joe.
he was good.
Question for you: If you have a guy on the practice squad and another team wants to sign him, which makes them they have to keep him for what, 4 weeks on the roster?
On the 53,
Do you have
yes.
do you have the ability to do that? The team that currently has him on the practice squad, can they put him on the current roster?
Yeah.
They can. So you can't poach him.
Yes.
Okay, so they put in a
If
claim to him.
rather than poach him,
You do have the ability to then say, okay, we can put him on our roster.
yeah, you can put him on your roster,
So I'm
but then
looking at the roster right
you
now.
have to dump someone from your roster then.
There's
Yeah.
13 wide receivers on the roster right now.
Yeah.
I got on the list.
I think they're down to 12 now, Tim.
Javon Baker, Demir,
Wait, let's go. Let's listen. Baker's gone. We agree?
Yep.
Demir Blankhamsey,
Yeah, he's
I
gone.
think
I don't
he's
even know
already
who he is.
gone.
Memphis 5'10", 185. Kendrick Bourne, I think he's gone.
Gone.
I think he's gone too, yeah.
Keyshawn Butte,
I think
he
he
stays.
stays.
Efton Chisholm III,
He's going to stay.
Practice squad
Stephon Diggs, he's in.
stays.
Demario Douglas. Is Douglas the one with the wheels? Who's got the
Yeah,
wheels?
little guy, yeah.
He made
He's the
that
little
really
guy with the
play
slot
where he had that
receiver.
burst.
Didn't do so well last year.
That one play where he just turned on the burners and ran away from
Yeah.
everybody.
He stays.
Mac Hollins staying. Right?
Staying, yeah.
Yeah, they signed him for a reason.
Jalen Hurd, 6'5", 230 out of Baylor.
No, he's
He a
gone.
rookie,
Yeah.
drafted a free agent.
No, free agent. Yeah, unrestricted. I mean, you did. You're not undrafted free agent.
All right, John Giles,
Nope, gone.
6'3", 220. Jalen Polk,
Gone.
Jeremiah Webb,
Gone. Don't even know who he is.
Kyle Williams.
He
Stays.
stayed. They just drafted him.
I'm going to go into tight ends. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tight ends.
What? Ooh.
Jaheim Bell.
Keep at least 3.
Oh, Bell. Yeah, I think Bell probably ends up going because he did nothing last year. He got a lot of hype. Remember that, Joe?
Yeah,
Hunter Henry.
he'll stay because he's making dough,
No, Henry's been
And he-
fantastic for the.
and he's one of the Messiah's
He
binkies.
was like one of the only ones. He seemed to be the Messiah's binky. Right?
Let's give Henry his props. He's been an excellent signing.
Yeah.
And actually, they extended him too. He's been fantastic.
Austin,
They need
Austin Hooper.
I like Hooper a lot. Yes, absolutely.
G. Scott, or G-E-E Scott Jr., 6'3", 243, out of Ohio State.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him.
Well, Vrabel likes those Ohio State guys.
Jack Westover.
Wait, who's the Alabama one?
Then we got Alabama is South Alabama. No, that's wide receiver.
No, there's an Alabama
There are
one.
no Alabama tight ends on this team, Scotty.
I thought there was.
South Florida, Washington, Ohio State, Stanford, Arkansas, and Florida State.
Okay.
Let's see if there's any Alabama wide receivers. We have
I
UFC,
don't think
Memphis, Eastern Washington, LSU, Eastern. 2 guys from Eastern Washington. What are the odds?
that the guy that everyone loves right now. The
Chisholm guy, yeah.
Kendrick
The
Bourne
third.
and Efton Chisholm are from Eastern Washington.
But there's always a guy or two, right? that everyone falls in love with. And remember, it was that quarterback, the running quarterback, or a year or two ago that we all.
Oh, remember the tight end
Joe
Nate
Bazooka Joe.
Sudfeld, and
Oh yeah,
had him as everyone had him as all world, and he was cut. He didn't even make the first cuts,
yeah.
and no one picked him up.
Nope, I remember. But Chisholm's the flavor of the month right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That all the beat writers are raving about him.
5'11", he's 5'11", 200.
If he was so good, why wasn't he drafted?
Yeah.
But they did pay him, and they paid the running back record amounts, way more than they've ever paid any
Yeah, he's 250 grand.
undrafted free agents since in 12 years, more than they've paid
Yeah.
anyone. You have to
Really?
go way back.
Well, you only pay them if you got to beat somebody, right?
Well, it's tough to be New England and get undrafted guys to come because they're all live in California or Florida, and
You
they're
want to
going
be
to go
playing
to the
here
three.
on,
There's three California teams and there's three Florida teams they can go to.
want to be out there with an 8 degrees with a 25-mile-an-hour wind, and
Yeah, or there's a couple Texas teams they can go to if they're from Texas. They all stay, close to home.
when I go out to California or down to Florida and I went I go, why does anyone live in Boston? The weather is just sucks.
Oh, but Joe and I, we've been to some of the worst weather games in the history of the Red Sox.
This year, just
And
this
then
year.
This year. I mean, winter coat. Last game we were in winter
There's
coats.
something to your head. You walk outside, it's sunny and 75. You're like, life is good, You walk out and it's gray and drizzling. I don't think I've played golf in the last 3 weeks where I didn't get rained on or something.
Well, Tim, go down next month and play a round of golf in
I
Florida.
know in Florida. You got to get out of there.
The next 3 months, you're not playing around. Next 5 months, you're not playing a round of golf.
Beautiful. My lawn looks beautiful right now. That's all I'll say.
Look, I mean, we just buy into it.
All right, we have 3 centers. Ben Brown.
He's gone.
Jared Wilson,
because I didn't think he was on the team anymore. He was so bad last year.
Jared Wilson and
he's the guy.
Yeah.
Garrett Bradbury.
Yeah,
They'll keep him because they've got like 3 or 4 of the interior. The guards can play center too.
All right, Joe. Now we're going to get to the. Do you mind if I do this, Scotty?
No, of course.
I'm
not
guards.
talking about the Bruins, no matter what.
We're not talking about the Bruins. McKay Butler, guard Joe, rookie.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him.
Jack Conley out of BC.
This kid out of BC, they gave $110,000 to us a free.
6'7", 325. You like those BC?
Yeah, he won't make. He won't make it though.
He's a practice squad guy, though, Joe.
Because he's local and he'll be cheap.
He's
on a practice squad.
He's perfect. He might.
Those guys
You don't even have to find him an apartment, Tim.
6'7", 325. That's pretty. Those BC guys have a way of just working out in this league. You know that? They're littered all through the NFL.
Yeah, he's
definitely those 2 big tackles were the guys you wanted. Remember those 2 big tackles?
His father's from Milton. The kid's from Milton, actually. He's gigantic. I think he went in the 2nd round, right?
Yeah, to Chicago.
Yeah, his father died young. Trapillo.
Yeah.
His father, I know people that met him, and he's a Milton guy. They said he was the largest human being they ever met in their life. I remember
him coming out of the bathroom.
My buddy Pat's kid played basketball.
He was huge.
My buddy Pat's kid played basketball for CM, and that Trapillo kid played basketball for BC High. I guess he moved pretty good, but he just looked like a giant out there.
Yeah. So when we were at Pro Day, Timmy, Joe and I, we were coming out of the bathroom, and we were going to the bathroom, and he was coming out.
The Trapillo kid?
Yeah, huge.
Huge, huh?
Huge. Nice kid. Huge.
Oh, sweetheart of a kid, I've heard.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, Nate Solder, big.
Yeah.
He didn't participate in any of the Pro Day activities, though. No. He'd already done his thing at the combine, and he wasn't going to spoil any numbers.
No, why would he? Or get hurt or something.
Leighton Robinson.
He was their 4th round pick or 3rd round
last
pick.
year.
Yeah, he probably makes the team. I bet because I think because they're going to
They'll
be
give him
cutting.
another year to develop because he's cheap as a fourth round pick.
They
And
would,
they're paying him anyways.
because they're cutting their second and fourth round pick from last year in Baker and Polk. So I don't think they. I think they got to keep somebody from that draft other than the Messiah, right?
Then we have,
Robinson was the third round pick, wasn't he?
No, I think Wallace was
I
third,
can tell you what he was here. Let me look his
and
name.
Layden was fourth. Layden Robinson,
Wow.
I think,
He was a
fourth round.
fourth round pick,
Yeah,
Joe.
and then Wallace was third.
Pick number 103.
No, again, if because Vrabel doesn't give a shit, there's a chance that they could cut everybody other than Messiah from that last year's draft.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, then we have another Robinson, Tyrese Robinson. First, I think he came last year too.
I don't know who he wasn't drafted.
Tyrese, let's look him up here. He was just says one season. He must have been a free agent because it doesn't have any draft information on him. He's out of Oklahoma. All right, then we have Wes Schweitzer.
Yeah,
Ninth
forget
year.
him, Joe.
I can't remember him.
It's his ninth year in the league. He was a sixth round pick.
He sounds like one of those guys they picked up at the end of last year, trying to plug holes with.
Bio.
They picked up a ton of guys like that. Ben Brown was. I think he was on his couch, and they took him.
His sixth round pick. He's on his ninth year in the NFL. He's doing something right.
Who?
Schweitzer.
Okay, see, I don't remember him. I don't.
Wes Schweitzer. Then we have City Sau. Second year out of Eastern Michigan. So
Another shitty draft pick.
4 years.
Yeah.
Do you think he's
They'll keep him because he's your backup center too, and he can play both guys.
Was a fourth round pick.
Yeah, we had some bad drafts. That's why these unrestricted guys who haven't been drafted, these free agents have a chance to make the team.
Yeah,
and we have just nobody from these.
Cole Strange. Do you think he's ever going to be anything, Joe?
He's been injured all the time. He's one of those guys that gets injured all the time.
He's gone. They're going to cut him.
You think so?
Yeah, they're going to cut. They're going to move.
They'll wait till they'll get through the training camp because see if someone wants him. As soon as he gets an hour, they'll cut him.
29th guy picked in the draft, and you whiff.
I could argue that he was worse than N'Keal Harry.
Elliot Wolf has been in charge of the draft since 1920, the last 5 years.
2020, not
how do you
2020.
How do you whiff on an offensive lineman with the 29th guy in the country?
And you pick the first guy picked in the draft too.
How just a terrible pick.
How do you get the whole country? Every guy from Alabama, LSU, Texas, USC, Washington,
that was one
Miami.
That was one of them. What's his name there? The offensive line coach, the assistant head coach, falls in love with him at the Senior Bowl.
And what was the word? They could have got him in the 4th or 5th round or something like that, right?
Exactly right. Yeah, just terrible. But we have to move on from that.
Okay, sorry.
Drafts. No, I'm just saying move on from those. We just can't be sitting here talking about these drafts.
I know.
Well, I think the team looks good. There's a combination of things where you got a much improved coaching staff coming in. You've got an improved offensive line. Each room has had incremental improvements. The running backs, the wide receiver room, the offensive line. It's going to make the offense better, and the addition to better coaching and
I think Joe
and his guys.
I don't know if you agree with me. I think in pro sports, football, the most of all the coaches, I think the coach in football is the most important coach of all the pro sports.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Not even close. Not even close.
It's so much more a complex, dynamic machine with even just on one side of the ball, you've got like 30 players,
But, again, you have to pay for free agents to make up for lack of proper drafting, and they to
Yeah.
some extent they've made up for that because they had these clear, you know, needs, and they filled a lot of them through the free agency.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that was when Belichick was in his prime. They had a well-oiled machine. Before the draft even came up, they had plugged, if there was 4 or 5 holes on the team, they had plugged at least 3 of them.
yeah,
So you went into the draft being able to take best player available.
Belichick was good at the free agent market.
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
For a while, then he seemed to run out of gas. It all
Well,
seemed everything just started.
They ran out of gas in 2020 when Elliott Wolf became in charge of scouting.
Terrible draft.
Yeah, like they whiffed on free agents. They used to hit home runs. They used to hit home runs on free agents off the street coming out of college.
Wolf was in charge
every
of
year
scouting pro prospects and college. He was
Every
in charge
year-
of the whole thing.
How many street free agent cornerbacks did we send to the Pro Bowl?
Oh, the
Remember
Otis
Gay?
Smiths of the world.
We were down to Randall Gay. Remember, took him off his couch like the 18th week of the season.
They
And
played well.
played in the Super Bowl.
Who was the other kid? I mean, he wasn't undrafted too. Was it Samuels?
Butler was undrafted.
No, but
No, Debo was drafted.
who was the guy? Who was the guy?
But Asante Samuel was
Asante Samuel. He was a free agent, right?
No,
I
he's
thought he
like
was
a
a
second
third round pick.
Was he?
Second,
Okay.
third, yeah.
For some reason, I thought he was off the street.
No.
Kid.
No, but we had guys like Otis Smith
Yeah.
off the street. A lot of that stuff. Yeah, I mean,
They had that was when Casario was in charge of pro player personnel. He was good. And still good.
who was he with
Where did
Houston,
he go,
right?
Joe? Did he go to Philly?
Houston.
Houston. Yeah, I guess you can't bat 1,000, right? So maybe the law of averages came back to bite the.
But let's see what look. All this came together for us to get the Messiah, and no, really,
Maybe also Vrabel too. You know what I mean?
yeah. But Messiah is generational, possibly, and
Scotty.
He's got to do it first, Scott.
Calm down.
generational.
Calm down, Scotty.
Generational will be it will be the second greatest quarterback the Patriots ever had. And then he's not going. No one's going to equal Tom Brady. But
I'm a Steve Grogan guy
I'm
for number
praying.
2. Babe
I'm
Pearl
praying
number
that
3.
you're right. I don't see it yet, though. I got to tell you.
Oh my God, I see it a million times over. Oh my God, this guy is.
We got to see it first. And this year you'll see a lot more of it because he'll have a better team around him.
Better coaching.
A little more better coaching, a little more protection in front of him, and a little more in the weapons department.
Hey, I hope you're right, Scotty. I just
Oh my God,
I got to see it.
my God, he's going to be better than Bledsoe.
Bledsoe. I mean, you know who destroyed Bledsoe's career?
Who?
No, Belichick.
Well,
Bill Belichick was defensive coordinator for the Giants. Was he he was with the Giants?
Yeah, won 2 Super Bowls.
They used to let Bledsoe go back into the pocket and sit there forever, and he had the best arm in the league. I mean, he had a cannon for an
I
arm.
loved watching him play.
So if you gave Bledsoe time to throw, he would kill you. I remember they played the Giants, and Belichick threw the kitchen sink at him.
Yeah, he never handled that.
And he couldn't. Once he was rattled in the pocket, he became like 50% of what he was.
He couldn't move.
No.
Yeah.
No. And after that, everyone started throwing blitzes at him, and he was a shadow of the player he was earlier.
All right, we got to get going. We extended this show for a long time, but that was fun. I want to thank the fellas. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again next Thursday night at 7 p.m. for another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and have a great and happy night.